I think this is awesome. Isaac, I'm glad this came into your mind and you have just put it into action. And thank everybody here for the support. Is that Tony? Just put him on the spot. Well, Isaac just took my entire opening. I was going to share that exact story. So I don't have anything to say. Yeah, so that was July, I think, when you texted. So I've never really sat down and tried to write anything, but my wife went on, she went out of town 2 weekends in a row, so I had like a 4-day weekend because I had to take off work. We didn't have anybody watch the kids. So I'm just in the home, for 4 days. I was kind of going stir crazy. I just started messing around and just wrote some songs, but for the most part, I mean, everything that I wrote, it's just from experience, either me personally or, like in this song, I see me and my wife in this song, particularly just our upbringing. I'm not very eloquent with my words like Isaac and Hannah, so I'm just going to play the song. It's called Latch Key Kid. County Line Road, there's a building on each side. One's got a steeple, one's got a neon sign. Seem to find a more honest man sitting on a bar stool than the one yelling, looking like a fool. Trust the institutions, the school and the church. Left as a kid, hope the grown-ups are grown up. Will turn out okay if we just trust and obey. Half the kids were there just to hook up. I wasn't that old. Something felt cold about that place. I would have done better anywhere but there in my life. Sitting there listening to a man who was talking, telling me my heart's deceitful above all else. Trust me, he says, I know the way. Even on bondage I can't shake. Turns out he was feeling up a girl in the back room. It was her fault. Her clothes were too tight. And he got off, and there was nothing left to say. Sweep it under the religious rug and send her on her way. I wasn't that old, but something felt cold about that exchange. I would have done better anywhere but there in my life. Latch Key Kid, trying to make sense of it all. Watching images of scenes of families on the screen. Wondering where the hell mine were. They're just doing what they've learned. I would have done better with a little one-on-one in the backyard. I Funny thing was, I grew cold. I grew cold. I grew cold. Thank you.